verbal agreement between Arsenal and Sporting has been completed today around lunchtime in London with the agents of the player in London, with the director of Arsenal, Andrea Berta, on it, and in direct communication with Sporting. After, guys, last night, I told you on Monday, Man United were offered again the chance to enter into the story for the Viktor Gyökeres negotiation. Basically, from Sporting, the message was something like, we are still not closing with Arsenal, so match the bid, come into the race. Man United considered that possibility, but what I can tell you is that they never sent any formal proposal, because the answer from the player was always the same. Only Arsenal Football Club. For Gyökeres, there was no other option. Arsenal Football Club. That was the message of Gyökeres to the president of Sporting. That was the message of Gyökeres to his agent. That was the message of Gyökeres and his agent, Hasan Çetinkaya, to all the other clubs. We said about the Man United opportunity. Saudi clubs 10 days ago all got the same answer. Arsenal Football Club. So, trust me, this story is now at the signing stage, so let's wait for the formal steps. But as soon as this story will be official, I think Arsenal fans should really rate what Gyökeres did to be an Arsenal player, because he had the crazy money proposal from the table from Saudi, also the opportunity with Man United to eventually match the bid, pay what Sporting wanted and hijack the deal, but for Viktor Gyökeres was only Arsenal Football Club. And when a player is posing himself like this, and the agent together with him, it's something really strong. So Gyökeres is going to Arsenal. As mentioned, the agreement will be for 63.5 million euros plus 10 in add-ons. So this is going to be the agreement. Also important to say, guys, that these add-ons have been the crucial point of the story, because they've been negotiating on the structure of the add-ons for more than 10 days, always with some issues on Sporting side. They always requested for more, but then Gyökeres, with a strong position, always said, I'm not coming for training. I'm not going to play for Sporting anymore. I want the club to respect what we said, and so now the agreement is done. Don't forget that Arsenal pays 63.5 million euros because the agent of the player will reduce his commission in order to facilitate the deal. Gyökeres also took some part of the salary and gave up on this part of the salary to facilitate the negotiation. So everyone did their own part in this story, but finally now Mikel Arteta is ready to have the striker he wanted, Viktor Gyokeres, after a really crazy story, crazy negotiation, very long saga. Now Gyökeres to Arsenal is a here we go. And it's a fantastic news for Arsenal, because they add one more player. Meanwhile, Christian Mosquera is traveling to the Preseason Tour after all documents signed between Arsenal and Valencia. So the player is on his way to be with the squad of Mikel Arteta. So for Arsenal, all the pieces of the transfer window are going to the right place. Don't forget that there is still the opportunity for Arsenal, after they extended the contract of Ethan Nwaneri, because Nwaneri contract is extended, is signed, is done until 2030. Arsenal still consider the possibility of adding one more offensive player. Eberechi Eze remains a strong option. They had very good contacts with the player camp already weeks ago, waiting to see when and if they will approach Crystal Palace. Don't forget that Arsenal also appreciate Xavi Simons, but Chelsea are really pushing on that one at the moment, so let's see what's going to happen there. But for sure, Arsenal are not done on the market, and I think there could be also more things to keep an eye on in case there will be some outgoings. So let's wait, let's see. For Arsenal now, these days were really important in the Gyökeres saga, and they got it done. So now, let's wait, let's see, and then at that point we will understand more on the next movements for Arsenal. But I can say that I don't think Arsenal are done in the market yet.
Our reporter James Green is here for an update on one of Arsenal's targets. What can you tell us?
Yes, this is on Christian Mosquera. We've been reporting that Arsenal had an interest, put an offer in. Offer was accepted. Player flew in for a medical last week. We can now tell you that the player has flown out to Singapore to join the rest of the squad on the pre-season tour. At the moment, it is now just formalities that we'll wait for. So we'll wait for an announcement. That will be Arsenal's fifth signing of the summer window after Martin Zubimendi, Christian Norgard, Noni Madueke and Kepa Arrizabalaga. I know there's still stuff remains to be seen. With this deal, 5-year contract, I understand that a lot of Arsenal fans will be waiting on another potential sign, that is Viktor Gyokeres. Now, there are reports circulated right now that that there is they're getting close now. So we reported earlier that the original fee was agreed. It was the add-ons that were being discussed. So that's where we're at with that deal. Now, there are reports circulating now that Arsenal are getting close to agreeing those add-ons, and that will be full agreement. The players already agreed personal terms. So that one seems to be closing up. So for Arsenal fans, some positive news today. But Christian Mosquera seems to be the next one in. He's going to be flying, joining his squad out in Asia for their pre-season tour. Arsenal mean business in this transfer window.
Yeah, they certainly do. OK, brilliant. Thank you very much.
63.5 million euros up front. That could rise by a further 10 million euros. He will sign a 5-year deal and joins the likes of Zubamendi, Noni Madueke, Christian Norgard and Kepa Arrizabalaga as the club's summer signings. By the way, just on that, before we get to it specific, that's good business in the summer for Arsenal.
100%.
Yeah, Zubamendi, Madueke, Norgard, Kepa, I think is a really good backup goalkeeper. That's good business.
Very good business. You got that backup goalkeeper, centre midfield you needed, with Jorginho leaving and Thomas Partey obviously leaving on a free transfer. And he pushes Declan Rice further forward.
Yeah.
Let Declan Rice go and play in a number 8 with Odegaard, I decide. But also, Wanyeri, he's going to be pressurising Odegaard to up his performances. Yeah. I'm sure this season, if Odegaard's not at the levels he was a couple of years ago, Arteta will start dropping Odegaard 100%. And putting Wanyeri in there.
100%. What do you make of Gyökeres? I know you got some stats there in terms of his goals in Sporting and for Coventry. What do you make? Are they signing a world-proven number 9 here, or someone that's still not quite yet the finished article?
I think you've got to look at him at he's 27 years of age. It's go time straight away. Okay. It's not, okay, needs a season to bed in and get used to the Premier League. No. And like you says there, he for Coventry, he got 40 in 97 games for Coventry. Solid. Yeah, not bad. Solid. Yep, still learning his trade. Yep. 97 goals in 102 games for Sporting. And some people try and use the Nunes example. Nunes got 48 in 85. Okay. So his record's a lot better than Nunes's was. Yes, Nunes near enough 1 in 2. Gyökeres nearly 1 in 1. Do you know what I mean? So he's showing that he's going to be better option than Nunes was. And what I like about it when I've seen minimal of him is he can hold that ball up, mate. And he will get in that box. How many times last season did you watch Arsenal? Every game, big games, PSG, Saka putting balls in, Martinelli putting balls in, Havertz or other strikers that were playing further forward, Moreno. They haven't got that striker clinical edge of where to be at the right time for you. And he's got a presence as well. Yeah. And how many goals has Haaland scored? Imagine how many goals they get from the corner. Exactly. Remember, Arsenal on set pieces. Okay, question. Does Zubamendi, Gyökeres, Madueke, Norgard and Kepa take Arsenal from second to second or second to first? Well, I've said this for the last 2 seasons and I'll say it again. If Arsenal do not win the Premier League or Champions League next season, questions have to be raised on Arteta. Is he a nearly man? And that's not me just saying a wild style. I've said it many times before. Because Arsenal need to be winning the big trophies. It's no good saying second and, we got close. Everyone thought if Man City was not going to win the league last season, it'll be Arsenal. Liverpool don't spend anything and they come and win the league comfortably. That comfortably, that during the season, Liverpool went to Dubai for a jolly up. Arne Slot went to Ibiza for a jolly up at Ocean Beach.
Arsenal and Sporting CP are on the verge of a total agreement for the transfer of Viktor Gyökeres. A deal worth £63.5 million plus £10 million of future bonuses had already been struck in principle. But issues remained over the nature and achievability of those contingency payments, which caused a delay in the proposed move being finalised. Talks to resolve that are now at an extremely advanced stage, with a conclusion imminent. Only finishing touches and some minor tweaks are required before the switch can be completed. Gyökeres was focused only on joining Arsenal and, despite late interest from elsewhere, he did not consider any other team. The 27-year-old Sweden international's agent also waived his commission to help the switch, while a contract until June 2030 has been prepared. Frederico Varandas, the president of the Portuguese club, said on July 12 that Gyökeres would be issued a heavy fine and told to apologise to his Sporting teammates after the Swede missed the deadline to report for pre-season training amid Arsenal's approach. Gyökeres has been one of Europe's most in-demand strikers this summer after scoring 54 goals in 52 matches for Sporting last season and was identified as Arsenal's preferred centre-forward target. Arsenal were without a recognised number 9 for much of 202,425 following injuries to Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus, as they finished second in the Premier League for a third consecutive campaign, 10 points behind champions Liverpool with 17 fewer goals scored. After leaving Brighton and Hove Albion for around £1 million to Coventry City in 2021, Gyökeres emerged a key figure for the Championship side before his £17 million move to Sporting in 2023. He recorded 97 goals and 28 assists for the Portuguese club, helping them to consecutive league titles and the Taça de Portugal last season. Arsenal have been active in their first summer transfer window led by new sporting director Andrea Berta. Midfielders Martin Zubimendi and Christian Norgod have joined from Real Sociedad and Brentford respectively, while goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga and winger Noni Madueke have arrived from Chelsea. Valencia defender Cristian Mosquera is set to join up with his new teammates in Singapore after finalising his move from Spain. Gyökeres made his Sweden debut aged 20 and has played 26 games at international level, scoring 15 goals. There's quite an obvious appeal to Gyökeres when flicking through the numbers. His 68 league goals since joining Sporting 2 summers ago is well over double that of any other player in Portugal throughout that time, a brutal finisher, able to generate freakish power on either side. But there's more to the Swede than just lasered shots and penalty box poaching. Gyökeres is a prodigious runner, direct, explosive, and with the physical capacity to repeat those movements at high intensity. As we can see from his skill corner run profile below, comparing his off-ball work to strikers across Europe's top 7 leagues, has often targeting the space in behind, or pulling wide to run the channels, happy to take a defender out wide before powering inside and getting his shot away.